Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the transit south node, sextile or trine one's natal Black Moon Lilith. Now, this transit could manifest in what you're going away from, the past, what you may feel you have some natural proficiency and at the time natural ability, what could be affecting you to your detriment, being in harmony with the negative manifestation of the BML placement, the dark side connected with the nefarious that's associated with it. And I'm not saying that these people from that were prominent in your past are going to be in agreement with this energy, or what could be affecting you to your detriment is in agreement with the energy I described with the Black Moon Lilith. But the thing about it is, it can be, naturally when something's, you're talking about a dark side of something in your life, and the South Node is about what you're leaving behind. It can be an auspicious time for leaving behind something that may be affecting you. It might be some nefarious energy in your life. If you have, like me, if you have the Black Moon Lilith in the fourth house, you know, it could be, a home situation, that might not always, be the best. Somebody with the Black Moon Lilith in the fourth house, may feel, exiled or have a feeling of ostracism, from their home, and their family, and it's a positive time for as an example to get away. Um, from that energy. The Black Moon Lilith, if somebody's got the Black Moon Lilith in Leo, is another example. It can be, Black Moon Lilith in Leo could manifest in somebody, not necessarily wanting children, being averse to having children due to the fact that they don't want to share, that spotlight with them, that they won't be, that center of attention. That could apply too if that's in the if you have the Black Moon Lilith in the fifth house as well. I have the Black Moon Lilith in Leo, and I have not procreated. And I don't know if it has, in my case, if it has to do with what I just described with the Black Moon Lilith in Leo placement. But, I have had, I have not had any children in my life. I think it's interesting that I have the Black Moon Lilith in Leo, and it's also, close to my fifth house cusp. It's in my fourth house, but not far from the fifth house. But anyway, I also want to state that the transit of this south node, it doesn't supplant, or replace, of course, your natal south node placement. Your natal, south node placement is there for the entirety of your life, and transit of the south node is energy, that you have, during that time that you can, you could utilize, and it might be, some ability you might feel, you have that you can apply at that particular time of the transit, but it doesn't supplant or replace the, your natal south node placement. Natal south node placement again is there for you during the entirety of your life, and it's although the natal south node is about what you're going to emphasize more in that first half of life up to about age 30 or 35, but you still use that energy during the course of your life. And another thing is that, some of you may wonder, well, what does this transit, how does that differ from the conjunction transit? Now, the transit of the south node, making a sextile or trine to the natal BML, is comparable to the conjunction transit, but not precisely or exactly the same. The conjunction transit is more, intensifying, integrating. It's a strong concentration of the energies. The sextile and trine is a positive, auspicious aspect. It's more flowing. And again, the conjunction aspects are neutral. They have good and bad qualities, as opposed to the sextile and trine, which is a good, just flat out good aspect. And when you have say if you have the transit of the south node making a conjunction to your natal BML, well, the thing about that is you may be trying so hard to get away, you might be so much concentration of energy in trying to get away from the negative of the BML placement that leaving it behind, that it can be to the exclusion of other things, and where you may become oblivious to other things in your life. Whereas when you have the sextile or trine aspect, it can be energy that you can utilize to get away from the BML placement, but not to the point where it's like dominating your existence and you're oblivious to other things in your life. So anyway, now another thing about this placement as well, it's also, could be a positive time, for getting away, from a formidable adversary in your life, or somebody that's been that, perpetual thorn in your side. If you have the BML, say it's in Gemini in the 10th house in your chart, it could be somebody that may have told slanderous lies about you, that might have hurt your reputation, your public image, even might have done something to diminish your career opportunities in some cases. And this is the time where you can at least be going away. I'd say it's a positive time for at least be going away, figuratively speaking, from that energy, where you're not letting this energy affect you, at least not as bad as it may have previously. And it's also a time as well, Black Moon Lilith is connected with trauma. So it can be a time, if you're dealing with some kind of physical or emotional trauma, this could be a positive time to be dealing with it, to be maybe using some qualities that you have, you feel you have some natural ability for. If the transit South Node is in Scorpio, say, it might be being able to psychoanalyze what's going on, why are you dealing with such, what is going on that's affected you as far as emotional trauma at this point in time. And it's about maybe some some self psychoanalysis, basically, as an example. And also too, if you've had dealt with death at any time during your life, if you're experiencing, if you're mourning and you're feeling despondent over death, whether it was something that happened in recent time or something that happened many years ago, this is also again the positive time to be able to get away from that, or at least you might have someone prominent in your past that may be beneficial to you in dealing with this at this point in time. And also too, this is also time as well to be able to do something, maybe certain passion, desire, but not fixation. The Black Moon Lilith is about obsession and fixation, and it could be a time to do something. The South Node again could be about what you feel. You at least have this natural ability for at this point in time, and it can be to do so again with having not being overly fixated or obsessed with it, but being able to do it with having just that, maybe just some passion and desire. If you have the transit South Node and Zodiac Sun Cancer or the 4th house, it might be doing something with home remodeling, renovation, roofing, something with real estate, sales, cooking. It could be some kind of restaurant or culinary work. It could be something connected with history, being like that historian for the time. And also too, the fact that it's interesting that the South Node can be connected with the past, the people that are prominent in your past, and also the Black Moon Lilith placement. Black Moon Lilith can be associated with people that play a provocative role in your life. And so it can be where you can have these people that that were prominent in your past, maybe at this time they could be maybe helping you, maybe they're playing that provocative role in your life at this time, and they may have as well in your past. But it's also it's a time as well, you can have you can balance that energy out. I think when you have this transit, it could be about those people that were prominent in your past, having activities with them, and maybe people that are currently might be playing a prominent or provocative role in your life, and being able to have the best of both worlds. So I mean, this transit, I mean, it can have some positivity, and it well, it does, because it is we're talking about a sextile or trine aspect. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. But anyway, and it's also the Black Moon Lilith is also connected with the erotic sexual drive. So if you have your natal Black Moon Lilith placement, say it's in Gemini, it can be, erotic sexual drive, associated with younger people, or people that are very cerebral, intellectual, versatile, very diversified. And it might be a time where, these, it's a time, I wouldn't say it's about, getting away from that, but it's a time where, you could have, as far as, doing things, with people that are prominent in your past, and in that expression of that erotic sexual drive, it can have that balance in that, where you're not dominated by one or the other, where you could have a balance of both, I would say. And it's also, it's really, again, I mean, this is a time where, whatever, what's affecting you to your detriment, might be able to be helped by people that are playing the provocative role in your life at this time. Those people may be beneficial to it. This is a transit too, where it could be positive for going away from, which is the South Node, the negative manifestation of the BML placement. Let's say if the BML is in Capricorn, as an example, it could be maybe something where you're being overly authoritative, or ruthless ambition. It could be very cold, callous, undemonstrative energy, as some examples. And this transit also can be auspicious to do something that you might have some natural proficiency or ability in at this time, which is the South Node, and it can be assisted by people that play a provocative role in your life, which is the BML. Now, let's say if the transit South Node is in the zodiac sign Cancer, it could be doing something with plumbing or real estate, home renovation, as some examples, and also people that are prominent in your past, which is the South Node, can be more in harmony and agreement with that higher level of the BML placement you're trying to embrace. If the natal Black Moon Lilith is in Libra, as an example, it could be being very persuasive, tactful, diplomatic, expressing negotiating skills. That could be qualities associated with a higher level of the placement. And it also can be a time where it's propitious to leave behind, which is the South Node, in order to be able to deal, something that could be affecting you negatively, in order to maybe embrace the higher level of the placement, or do things with people that play a prominent role in your life. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.